Day may come out and say, they're both good to go. We're going to go unleash the horses and everything, and then it's fine. I don't expect that. I think this is a game.
This is a game is exactly the preview that I want for Ohio State Rutgers. Technically, this is a football game.
It is technically a game.
So what does any of this mean for Rutgers this week?
I actually think it's going to be kind of the same game plan. Where I think it gets interesting for me, and I don't have an update. We obviously record this on Monday after the game against UCLA. Ryan Day did give some kind of news and updates on stuff. So Carnell Tate, he said just a precautionary thing. They sat him last week against Purdue, sat him again against UCLA. Would not surprise me whatsoever to see him sit against Rutgers. I'm almost expecting it at this point because you've got a certain team coming up that you need him healthy for.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing with Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith was questionable to start the game. He played for the first half, didn't play the rest of the half. He was really kind of ineffective, walking with a noticeable limp on the field throughout. Ryan Day said, calm down, not a concern, clearly a precaution. He's got a nagging issue right now that we've just been kind of dealing with. We're up 27-0. We don't really need to. He said that without saying it. So I think Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate will both be fine. I don't think this is anything to get overly concerned with, but it wouldn't surprise me if neither of them played this coming week against Rutgers. I know we record on Monday. Ryan Day may come out and say, they're both good to go. We're going to go unleash the horses and everything, and then it's fine. I don't expect that. I think this is a game that they're going to run out the exact same game plan because this
is a game is exactly the preview that I want for Ohio State Rutgers. Technically, this is a football game.
It is technically a game, but the game plan is going to be the same because if I'm being honest, the defense is going to look the same. UCLA's defense can't stop the run. Guess who's even worse at stopping the run? The Scarlet Knights.
Which, by the way, like you need to, if you're new to the podcast, because we've got a bunch of new people, you need to explain, I think, a little bit for folks. The Rutgers, I don't care why you're a Rutgers fan also, but I think you do need to make that connection here to explain the stupid Rutgers helmet on YouTube, this stupid helmet, that stupid jersey, the Mike Rutgers jersey.
Yeah, I grew up obviously a Buckeye fan, Buckeyes through and through since birth. I mean, you're born into it here in Ohio, so they're number one forever. Rutgers, I've been a fan of for probably since I was a freshman in high school, so I'm going to show my age here, but it's like got to be 20 plus years now.
You're 47?
Yeah.
Wow.
47. So, I mean, you're so dumb, but I've been a fan for a while now. Back when they were in the Big East, had Ray Rice, had Mike Teal, had Taekwon Underwood, Mohamed Sanu, like just a bunch of guys that I fell in love with watching. Loved watching them play in the Big East in their rival games against West Virginia. So I followed them ever since. They joined the Big Ten and have not been competitive really since. They had one or two good years right away and then have been just kind of middle of the pack.
They've still got a soft spot in your heart, though.
Oh, love them.
So, like, when this game happens, obviously you're pulling for the Buckeyes.
Oh,
like,
every time.
Is there a part of you that kind of wants Rutgers to upset them?
No. It is.
Could there be?
Not to upset them, no, because Ohio State's still number one. So Ohio State losing ruins my Saturday regardless.
Love that.
So as excited as I was when Rutgers joined the Big Ten, there was a part of me that died that day because I knew even if Rutgers
have that conflict.
If Rutgers has a really good season, Ohio State's got to spoil it. Yeah. And if Ohio State's got a really good season like they are this year, I'm sorry, Rutgers, I need you to get dominated into the ground.
What's really funny, just as a tangent here. So I grew up college hockey was one of my big entry points into sports, college hockey and college football. And this would have been if you're really a Michigan or Ohio State fan, back in the old CCHA days where it was Michigan and Ohio State and Notre Dame. So Lake Superior State University is where I grew up in that little small town. And so I actually hated Michigan hockey for a long time. Even as a Michigan football guy, because they played Lake State 4 times a year. And that is still the only, I love Michigan hockey now. That's still the only time that I would ever actually root for a team to beat Michigan still. Is I would actually cheer for my hometown boys to beat Michigan hockey if they played each other. It doesn't ever happen because Lake State is trash. However,
I get it.
So all that to say, context, but I get the conflict a little bit though.
No, it's still,
this is hard.
It's one of those things where it's like, I want Rutgers to be competitive because I want them to earn a little bit of respect in the Big Ten, but I never want them to win. So a couple of years ago when they almost beat Ohio State and it was in Piscataway, that was fine because they looked like a decent Big Ten team, and that's all I really needed.
So will they look like a decent Big Ten team this Saturday? It is in the SCAT. Do people call it the SCAT?
It's not in Piscataway.
Is it not?
No, it's in Columbus.
Oh, well, it's still kind of in the SCAT, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. This one's tricky, and you're going to make fun. And this is going to be where my Rutgers fandom shows out, because I do feel like they get disrespected in this area this
I
season.
think you're right. It is in Columbus. I'm an idiot.
Because I said this a couple of weeks ago, and you laughed at me. Rutgers has the best wide receiver group statistically in the Big Ten.
Please stop with this narrative.
Stats? Are they stats?
Stats are stats?
Stats are stats.
Okay.
Athan Kaliakmanis, Minnesota.
The name of a real human
Minnesota
person.
transfer, Athan Kaliakmanis, in his second year at Rutgers, leads the Big Ten in passing yards. Their running back, who's a sophomore, Antoine Raymond, has 1,000 yards on the season, is averaging 5 yards per carry, and has 11 touchdowns. Their wide receiver group, KJ Duff, has 923 yards. Ian Strong has 716. And then they have a transfer from North Texas, DT Sheffield. He's got about 530 something.
You could have just Chat GPT generated.
I might have. You'll have to
names.
fact
I
check
have
me.
no idea if any of these are real people. KJ Duff, I know, is actually pretty good.
Ian Strong's a great receiver as well. They're
I'm
big.
sure he is.
This offense has weapons.
Him and CJ McSmith also.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Their offense has legit weapons. So I think from that side of it, it could be interesting, because I think they have the receivers to really test some of these corners. The position I'm really looking at is whoever Davison Igbinosun lines up with, because
You would assume it'd be KJ Duff, right?
KJ Duff's a big dude. This is a guy that I'm looking at.
And we know that Igbinosun's special also, right?
And that's what I'm saying. I think Igbinosun's been fine this year, but
It's been okay.
He's had a tendency, like normal, to grab a little jersey now and then. And when he's going up against some strong receivers like what Rutgers has to offer, I'm really curious to see what these guys do. Where I think that this game really starts to lean in Ohio State's favor is defensively. Rutgers just doesn't really have one. They rank in the last of the Big Ten in almost every statistical category, especially in the ground game. They're last. They give up like almost 200 yards a game on the ground. It ain't going to be fun for them on the defensive side, especially if you have a guy like Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate playing. I think this is another thing, and that's why I said it's going to be similar to the UCLA game plan. You're going to see a lot of James People, Isaiah West, because CJ Donaldson was hurt against UCLA. You're going to see a lot of Bo Jackson. You're going to see a lot of Isaiah West. You're going to see a lot of ground and pound, try and get the lead early. Get this game out of the way. Very conservative kind of game calling from Brian Hartline and Ryan Day, because they're just not going to need to.
Yeah. Well, and also you want to, again, if you've got wide receivers that are a little bit dinged up, you're going to keep guys fresh, because, again, you never can overlook an opponent, but you don't need full strength to beat Rutgers.
No. And I think if I'm Ohio State.
And you're right, the biggest place that they're going to test you is going to be on the passing game, because they drop back 50 times a game.
100%. Yeah. Rutgers offensively is well-rounded. They're going to, that's a great running back. That's a great wide receiver trio that they've got.
And it'll be interesting to see how that translates too, because again, everything looks ahead to Michigan. Obviously Rutgers does not, I know the stats sound good because stats are stats, but
stats are stats.
Statistically also, Rutgers does not run the ball particularly well. Like nationally, they're in the bottom half of the FBS in rushing. They don't have a good rush defense. So it's not the Michigan game plan in that sense, but it will be interesting to see what a quarterback with a couple weapons can do against that secondary, because you then add Michigan's run game into it and you kind of get a little bit better picture. Because again, everything on this podcast is about what it means for the Michigan game.
And we're getting pretty close.
So, what's your final score here?
Yeah, I think this is one where the defense gets tested a little bit, but it doesn't break. I still have it being a blowout. I think right now they're 33.5 point favorites.
That's a lot of points.
I don't think it'll be quite, I don't know. It'll be tough. I think Ohio State wins this 42-17.
Wow. We are right there.
Are we really?
Yeah.
That's been pretty common this whole season.
Again, apologies for my voice. Yeah. So I've got Ohio State 41-17 in this.
Wow.
One. And again, like we'll get to Michigan, Maryland here in a moment, but like this actually feels similar to me to Michigan's matchup with Maryland because Rutgers is going to again drop back 100 times and see what happens.
They're going to have to, yeah.
But they don't do a lot. I mean, you nailed it. I don't need to repeat myself to repeat your points. Like they don't do a ton else very well. So either it works or it doesn't.
Yeah, they're going to have some explosive plays. They're going to have some turnovers.
When they play similar competition, it works. When they, I mean, like even if they don't win, like when they play similar competition, they have passing game success. It works. When they play up, I just don't buy it.
Yeah.
Now, if you are Rutgers, you are going to walk in and you're going to play your game plan and say, fine, we're going to put KJ Duff on Igbenogson and we're going to make you stop him. Mm-hmm. And if that means throwing the ball 55 times, they will. Especially because they will not be able to run on this Ohio State defense. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Neither team wants to play rock fight football. Rutgers kind of has to if they want to win this game, but they're not going to. And they are simply not going to outshoot out Ohio State in this game.
No way.
The Rivalry Podcast is part of the Varsity Network from Learfield and the River Podcast Network from River Radio Ministries.
New episodes out every Monday.
Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you're listening right now, and follow on social media at RivalPod and RivalPod.com.
And if you like what you hear, share with a friend so they can listen too.